You are a St. Louis homeowner and you have an older brick house. In my experience, roughly 8 out of 10 cracked mortar joints or flaking bricks do not require a full rebuild, even though that is often the default recommendation people are given. In the next 3 minutes, I am going to show you how I decide if the damage is stable or if it's a silent failure letting water move through your walls. I also put together a simple guide called The 3 Signs Moisture is Getting Behind Your Brick that walks through this exact decision process. And I'll come back to that at the end. My name is Isaac, and my work specifically focuses on tuck pointing and precision brick replacements on St. Louis homes. And we specialize in a repair first mentality and don't just default to giving you a quote that is all for rebuilds. My goal in every video is to give you one thing that every homeowner can use so that you know what you're looking at before you ever have to sign a contract. After winter, most homeowners do the same thing. They walk around their property and they start noticing. They start noticing cracked mortar joints, they start noticing flaky brick or popping brick, or they start seeing this white powdery residue on brick surfaces. And a lot of times this is where uncertainty creeps in. And you're also aware that brick problems can get more expensive with time, but you also don't want to be rushed into a project that you don't need. So homeowners end up doing one of two things. One, they either completely ignore the problem, hoping that it just goes away, or two, they pick the most aggressive repair recommendations, such as a rebuild, because they don't want to make the wrong call. But here's where homeowners get it wrong. They tend to think that winter is what creates the brick problem, but it actually just exposes where the water was already coming in at. And once you can understand where water is moving, it becomes much easier to separate what is stable damage from damage that is still active. When I'm on site at a St. Louis brick home, I'm not simply asking, does this just look bad? I am determining whether water can still move through the walls. And here's how I can tell that. The first thing I look at is the mortar joints. And this is one of the most common entry points for water. And if it has failed at a correct depth, beyond that depth, then water already has an entry point into your house, even if the bricks still look okay. The second thing I look at are the brick faces. Are they spalling? Are they chipping? Are they cracked? And usually if that is so, then water has been sitting where it should not have been for a long period of time, and it is slowly breaking down that brick day by day. Third, I focus on areas where water naturally sits longer, such as chimneys, chimney caps, horizontal joints, or even flat surfaces on your home, because sitting water tends to cause the most damage on any home. And if your home is still accumulating moisture in those areas, then you have an active problem and not a stable one. What most homeowners call brick and mortar repair is actually called tuck pointing. And what that is, it is removing failed mortar and replacing it so that water cannot keep entering your walls. This approach works because stopping water early is often easier and less invasive than repairing the brick after it has already been damaged. Now, patching over the problem continues to let water flow, and if you do a full rebuild, it often replaces brick that could have been preserved. Doing targeted repairs is often fixing the problem at its source. And this is why the opening statistic matters. When water entry points are addressed early, mortar tends to last longer, bricks tend to hold up better, winter has far less of an impact, and this is how homeowners can protect their bricks without just constantly chasing repairs. This is why I put together the simple guide, 3 Signs Moisture is Getting Behind Your Brick. It walks you through the same indicators I use so that you can tell if water is actively causing damage or if it is something that you can wait on. The guide helps you narrow the problem and avoid guesswork. If this guide is something that you would like, then just let me know in the comments.